Have you ever wondered how some of the wealthiest people and biggest companies seem to pay so little in tax? Well, a big part of that story isn't found in a stuffy office building, but on the sun-drenched islands of the Caribbean. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and demystify the world of Caribbean tax havens to figure out exactly how they work. But first, let's just start with a simple question. Imagine you get your next paycheck, you look at the numbers, but that one line, the one for income tax, it's just zero. Gone. For most of us, that's a total fantasy, right? But for some people in some companies, it's very, very real. And, this isn't just a Caribbean thing. You can find countries with zero income tax literally all over the globe, from glamorous Monaco in Europe to the UAE in the Middle East. And each one has a totally different idea about who should pay taxes and for what.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around all this, we've got to start with the absolute basics. What exactly is a tax haven?
When you boil it all down, a tax haven has a pretty simple but powerful business model. It uses low or zero taxes as the bait, and then it guarantees intense financial secrecy as the hook. That 1-2 punch is incredibly good at pulling in money from every corner of the world. So what's actually in the package they're selling? Well, think of it like the ultimate financial toolkit. We're talking zero personal income tax, no corporate tax, usually no tax on your investments or what you leave to your kids. You combine that with ironclad privacy laws and making it super easy to set up a company, and you've got the perfect recipe for protecting wealth. Now, this right here is maybe the most important point in this entire conversation. There's a huge difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Avoidance is totally legal. It's using all the existing rules and loopholes to shrink your tax bill as much as the law allows. Evasion, on the other hand, that's just cheating. It's illegally hiding money or lying on your tax forms. And believe it or not, this entire global industry is built right on that razor-thin line between the two. So we know these places are scattered all over the map. But when you hear the term tax haven, your brain probably jumps straight to the Caribbean. So why? How did this one specific region become the poster child for offshore finance? So what's the secret sauce? It's not just about the low taxes and privacy, though that's obviously a huge draw. A massive piece of the puzzle is stability. We're talking about countries with stable governments and legal systems you can rely on. I mean, think about it. If you're moving millions of dollars, you want predictability. That security can be just as valuable as a 0% tax rate. But here's the thing. Not all tax havens are created equal. They don't all apply by the same rules. So, to really get the nuances, let's go on a quick tour of 3 totally different models to see how they work. All right, first stop, the Cayman Islands. If you were to ask someone to draw a picture of a tax haven, this is what they'd come up with. It's what's known as a pure tax haven, and for a very good reason. And when we say pure, we really mean it. No income tax, no corporate tax, no capital gains tax, the list goes on. So you might be wondering, how does the government even keep the lights on? Well, it all comes from indirect fees, things like huge taxes on goods being imported to the island and the annual fees paid by the hundreds of thousands of companies that call it home on paper. Okay, next, let's look at a completely different flavor of tax haven. In a place like Panama, the system isn't about what you earn, it's all about where you earn it. This is called a territorial system. Here's how that works, and it's pretty clever. Panama only taxes money that's actually made inside Panama. So if your company is officially based there, but all your business and all your customers are somewhere else in the world, Panama doesn't tax any of that foreign income. It's a system literally designed to attract global business. And for our last model, we have what is probably the most direct approach of all. In a place like St. Kitts and Nevis, it's not just about moving your money there. You can actually buy your way into the system through something called citizenship by investment. Once you become a citizen, the benefits look a lot like that pure tax haven we saw earlier. No personal income tax, no capital gains tax. But the crucial difference isn't the tax system itself. It's the very special key you need to unlock it. A brand new passport. So what's the price tag for a golden ticket like that? The program requires you to make an investment in the country that starts at $250,000. For that price, you can get a new citizenship in just a few months, and with it, a lifetime of access to their tax-friendly world. Okay, so we've seen how these different systems work on the ground, but now it's time to zoom all the way out, because the very existence of tax havens brings up some huge questions about taxes and what they're for. And this quote really puts the whole thing in perspective.
See, for most of the world, income taxes are how we pay for, well, everything. Our roads, our schools, our hospitals, all of it. So this is the fundamental conflict, right? When money flows to a place with no taxes, it has to be flowing out of a place that actually needs those taxes to function.
And that leaves us with this massive, central question for the 21st century. When money can cross borders with the click of a button, moving from a high-tax country to a no-tax country in a split second, who gets to decide what's fair? And maybe more importantly, who ends up paying the price? It's a question that's going to shape our world for a long, long time.